All right. We're going to stream this to Facebook. So give me a second here. And it looks like we're rocking and rolling. All right. We are good to go. All righty. Here we go. Let me close this here real quick. All right. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to rock. Let me turn off my video. And we're going to share screen here. All right, here we go. You guys see my screen okay? You guys, okay, awesome. You guys in the chat there, you see my screen. All right, awesome. All right, well, welcome tonight, guys. Again, I'm super excited to be with you. I am just super stoked about what I'm going to share with you tonight. Email marketing has been by far the #1 profit producing activity asset in my business for ever since I, had my breakthrough in my business back in 2012. There was that time that I hit where nothing was really working, but it was when my email list, when I really put the focus on my email list, that's when things broke through for me. And it has been the #1 thing that has driven more sales, more signups, more revenue, over millions and millions of dollars in sales over the last 8 to 9 years. And it's not stopping. Okay. It is the #1 generator for me. It is the #1 sales generator for those who have been around a while. It's the #1 sales generator for top earners out there online that have been doing this a while. They know where the real profit is. Okay. And while I absolutely love social media, you're going to see tonight that social media, as great as it is, doesn't even really compare with email marketing. Okay. It's a great tool, social media, but when you compare it side by side with email marketing, there is really no comparison in my mind. And I'm going to give you plenty of examples as to why that is. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in. And I got a few questions for you, but how would you like to get off the social media hamster wheel and get residual sales from a long-term strategy? Now, here's the thing. Things are constantly changing in the online world. They're constantly changing. And if you've been around a while and you've been on social media specifically, it seems like Facebook is constantly changing things. There were things that I love to use on Facebook and they're no longer there. What happens is they give you something, they start out with it, and then it doesn't work as good as it used to. And that is one of the things that is, it just happens with social media. But email has been one of those things that is just a constant. And that's what I want you to ask yourself. Like, what if you could really, really focus on one good strategy and use all the peripherals to get around it? And it really is your main strategy, the thing that you're focused on. What would it feel like to send out an email and have people buy what you are selling? And what would it do for your future if you knew you were building a business asset that would secure your business success for years to come, regardless of social media algorithms? So here's the thing, okay? We need to be able to secure our business. I have been in this for a long time, all right? I have been doing online marketing. I started out in 2008, and here we are in 2021. And I will tell you, I have seen a lot of flash in the pans come and go. I've seen some people come in, they get a lot of success, and they're gone because they really didn't put all the effort into the one thing that would really, really secure them, and that was their email list. All right, so I'm going to really set that for you tonight. So here's what we're going to cover. Why the power of even a small email list obliterates social media followers, even if you have millions of them. The Bes Blueprint that creates a hyper-engaged email list who anxiously buy everything you promote. The massive mistake that sends emails straight to the spam folder. And this is something that so many marketers are doing. And it's a fatal blunder, and they don't even realize it. And they're not getting the results with their email list that they should because they're actually doing this. And believe me, not everybody knows what I'm going to share with you on this. Okay. There are people, I shared this a couple of weeks back when I was doing a training for my buddies over at the MLSP community. And I shared this and people were like, what? I never even thought of that. And so I'm going to share it with you. Some of you may know it, but it's critically important. And the secret formula top email marketers use to achieve sky high open rates and click-through rates. And a simple, very simple, yet highly effective trick I've used for years to ensure every email I send goes to the Gmail primary tab every time. And what's funny is I actually forgot to test it the other day and I went right to the email primary tab because I didn't check it first. And I'm going to show you this insanely simple thing that you can do. And I'm excited about that. All right. So a little bit about me. Most of you guys know who I am. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I've generated over 150,000 leads online, probably much more than that by now. I've literally made millions of dollars in sales online. I've won awards. I've spoken on many stages. At one point in my business, back in 2012, I had $7 in my bank account. 90 days later, I had my first 5-figure month in my business. It was an incredible experience for me. And ever since, it's just been an amazing, amazing ride. I survived cancer back in 2003. I went through cancer treatment. Definitely one of those character building, things to go through. I am a Navy vet, great time in the Navy. My time was short, but I'll tell you what, it was a great experience. And I've married the woman of my dreams. We have an amazing daughter together. And, that's a little bit about me if you've never met me before, but let's dive into it. I don't want to talk about me. We're here to talk about you and get into the goods. Okay. So I'm going to handle this right off the bat. Okay. I want to talk about why email marketing. And the reason being is there's a lot of perceptions people have regarding email marketing. I've seen it out there where marketers are saying email marketing is dead. Email doesn't work anymore. Email this and email that. You got to move over to text marketing. Okay. Or you got to go over to, TikTok, or you got to go do this, or you got to go do that. And all of that stuff is great. But the idea that email marketing is dead is an absolute falsehood. If not a downright lie, because I remember seeing an ad out there a couple months ago, and the ad said email marketing is dead, and it was a texting service that was promoting text messages. And believe me, I'm not against text messaging, but to say email marketing was dead to try and sell the text messaging service, I commented on it because I had just sent out an email literally like 2 days prior that produced a whole bunch of sales on a product that I have. So I commented, I said, so are you telling me the email that I sent out the other day that generated a couple $1,000s in sales is dead? And I got all these people kind of laughing with me on the post because it really is not dead. It's very vibrant. It's very alive. It is still the #1 channel for making sales. And I'm going to show you that. Okay. But here's some statistics for you, because I want you to have a healthy respect for this. Because a lot of people are so focused on social media and they're so focused on building up their social media following that they're losing focus on the main thing. Okay. And I want you to have a healthy understanding for it. But this is according to HubSpot. Now, these are statistics according to HubSpot. Okay. 4 out of 5 marketers said they'd rather give up social media than email marketing, because those marketers who understand the power of an email list, I would give up social media in a heartbeat. If I had to choose between one or the other, I'd kick social media to the curb faster than anything. Okay. And that seriously, 78% of marketers in 2020 said email is important to overall company success, compared to 71% in 2019. 99% of email users check their inbox every day, with some checking it 20 times a day. Of those people, there's some of you on here that check your email 20 times a day. Go ahead. Let me know in the chat. Who was it? Who does it? Josh says only 19. Leslie says that's me. Some of you guys check your email several times a day. And I'm going to show you a chart here in just a second. It's kind of blow your mind. All right. But here's another one. Email marketing has a return on investment, an ROI of upwards of $42 for every $1 spent. Now that is mind blowing. Okay. Email is at least 4 times more effective in reaching your audience than a Facebook post. Have you ever noticed, guys, over the years that Facebook engagement has gone down in a huge, huge, huge way? Okay. And, you can put out a post, and maybe if you're getting good engagement, you might get 100 likes. Okay. And you might get 40 or 50 comments on your post. That may be, you have, thousands and thousands of friends. Maybe you even have a page where you've got, 50,000 likes. It's pretty amazing that it's gone down so low. But here's the thing. This is a little chart for you. And this is the most important measurement to gauge effectiveness. Now, on this chart, you can see specifically, this was a study done several years ago, but it shows the quality of an audience members that are added and the quantity of audience members added and the overall ROI. And you can see email at the top, that the overall ROI on email was 41% compared to Facebook at 22%, Twitter at 17%, text messaging at 32%, and mobile apps at 34%. So every one of those has their place. I'm not suggesting that you abandon all of these and not use them, because I use them. But when I really put the focus of where it should be, I'm always focused on that email list. Now, here's another stat that I think is pretty mind-blowing. And I just talked to you about, Facebook and social media reach. This is according to Influencer Marketing Hub. Okay. And the average social media reach in 2020 for Facebook was 5.2%. So I want you to really put that in perspective here. So for every 100 followers that you have on Facebook, okay, every 100 followers you have, you're reaching about 5 people. Okay. So if you have 100,000, you might be reaching what? 5,000? I don't know what that, I'm horrible at math. What is that? 5,000? You might be reaching that. So, and then Instagram out of all of these is actually the best with reach. But I'm going to show you here in just a second that Instagram, it still doesn't beat email. And I'll show you that here in just a second with some stats that I've been able to pull up. Okay. Twitter, 3.61% and LinkedIn, 13%. So here's a real world example. Okay. These are some broadcast stats that I've pulled from my own email marketing efforts to show you that when I email to a highly engaged portion of my list, now engagement here is really, email marketing platforms really gauge engagement based upon open rates. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I emailed a segment of my list, 5,320 people, and I got 215 opens and 2,577 total. That gave me a 39.8% open rate. Okay. Now, obviously, click-through rate is a whole different deal, but I wanted to show you just kind of the idea of what it is when people go and they open emails. This is what we call, this is how we gauge engagement. Okay. Here we've got 57.4. I only sent this to 2,812 people, and I got 57.4 open rate on my email. Here we have 6,365. I had 34.9. So this is really how we go and we engage, we factor that in. Now, again, click-through rates are another thing. And one of the things about emails is that you got to understand there are a couple parts to having good, effective emails when you're email marketing. Okay. One of them is learning how to write a good headline. Okay. A good subject line, one that creates curiosity, that gets people to open up. And that's really the only job of the subject line of an email when you're sending it out to an email list. The only job is to get people to open up that email. The next part is to write body copy that gets people to click on the link or take action on something that you have proposed or something that you're selling or something that you're offering. Okay. So that is the 2-part process, really, is getting people to open and getting people to click. Those are the 2 things you want to focus on when it comes to email marketing. So here is this really cool chart, which I thought was awesome because this is based on 2017. So a couple of years ago, but here's email usage in the US by age. And if you look across the spectrum here, okay, you have all demographics are using email. Now, I think this is pretty significant because when you go online and you're talking like social media, and you're talking, places like, the younger generation does not use Facebook. Okay. they're using things like Snapchat and TikTok and other things. TikTok, there's a huge younger generation that are using that. So when you really factor in that email is kind of like, it's like the universal leveler. Okay. It levels the playing field because everybody has an email address. Like everybody has an email address. My 90-year-old father-in-law has an email address in Chile. Okay. He has an email address and he checks it on a regular basis. Okay. The fact is that everybody needs an email address. You need a place to send your dinner reservations. You need a place to send your receipts when you're out purchasing things. You ever go to a store, you swipe your card and they say, would you like the printed receipt or would you like it emailed to you? That's happened many times when my wife and I have gone out to eat, and then you choose it on the little pad. If you want it emailed, you just type it in and they'll email it to you. Okay. So email addresses are something that everybody has and it's not going away. Okay. I made a post on Facebook earlier today where I talked about how the radio has been around since the late 1800s, early 1900s. Okay. The radio. Okay. I want you to think about this for a second. The radio was invented over 120 years ago. And guess what is still installed in every brand new car today? A radio. Why? Because the radio has stood the test of time. As a matter of fact, I actually looked up the stat that last year in 2020, or was it 2019 or 2020, over $26 billion was spent in radio advertising. Think about that for a second. For something that's so old, that's been around for so long, it's still so relevant. And there's so much advertising money spent on reaching audiences today. Email, I look at email in the exact same way. As long as the internet is around, which is going to be pretty much forever, people are always going to have an email address, and that is what you want to think about, longevity. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, Facebook is not going to be around forever. Okay. MySpace, people thought MySpace was going to be around a long time. Well, guess what? Facebook came along and wiped MySpace out. All these social media platforms, they have their time. Whether Facebook will stand the test of time or not, I guess we'll find out. They'll be around. They've been around a while, but who knows? I mean, you have other platforms that come up all the time. YouTube is always going to be around for a while. It's always going to be around, but boy, I'll tell you what, TikTok is really challenging YouTube right now. No joke. I mean, what they're finding is that people are using TikTok more and more, and they're getting so much watch time on TikTok, and that's got YouTube worried. So YouTube came out with YouTube Shorts to try and pull away some of that audience to keep them on YouTube. So here's the thing. If you build up this huge following on YouTube and you get all these subscribers and you're building up all of this, stuff on social media, guess what? You don't own it. You don't own it. An email list is yours. You can take it wherever you want. It's yours. You own that list. And this is what this chart really shows me, is that we're reaching every demographic with email. Now, I love this email versus social media, the first check of the day. Now, again, I asked you guys earlier, and you can put it again in the chat for those of you that are on here, but how many of you check your email first thing in the morning? Look at this. Compared to the news, 5%, search, 20%, company intranet, 3%, social media, 14%, and 58% of people check their email first thing in the morning. Now, I have to admit, I'm pretty guilty of this as well, especially when the phone sits right on the nightstand right next to me. One of the first things I'll do is check the email. It's not always the best thing. I'm not saying it's good, but it's just habit. That's what people do, and that's where you want to be. I mean, you want to be in people's email inbox, because the email, again, is never going to go away. So I want to talk about this because this is very, very important. And this is leading to a huge point that I'm going to be making, which I've already kind of made it with you, but I really want to drive this point home so that you understand where you're going with your business and you really have a vision of where you want to go with it and where you want to take it. So there's 3 types of traffic here. Okay. There's traffic that you earn. Okay. There's traffic you control and there's traffic you own. These are the three types of traffic. Now, I will tell you that this I really learned from Russell Brunson. He really put this together really, really good in a book called Traffic Secrets. I highly recommend it. It's a great book. You can get it on Amazon or wherever. But he really talks about this at length. But there's traffic you earn, traffic you control, and traffic you own. So traffic you earn is things like interviews, doing an interview with somebody, like maybe somebody invites you to come out to your, to their YouTube channel, and they interview you about something and they expose you to their audience. Okay. And that is what we're talking about. I've been invited out to do, some great trainings. I remember back in 2012 when my business really started to take off and I was just really cranking out, some amazing lead flow. I got invited out by a community some of you guys know called MLSP. And I got invited out because I was absolutely crushing my business. Things were really taking off for me. And they brought me out to do a training for their community. So the first webinar I ever do, they invite me out and there's literally like 1,000 people on this webinar. So here I am, I come out, I do this webinar, and guess what happened? Immediately, it was like my name was out there immediately, like huge. I'm getting bombarded on Facebook with messages. And it was huge because I was put in front of this massive community of people that all wanted to know. So, but I earned my way there. I got in there because I was producing a result, and then I got invited to come out. So I earned that traffic. I earned all of that, where people came to me, and that was awesome. Okay. That was awesome. It really was. So interviews are a great way to do that. Podcasts, another way. It's like, it's doing it. You could do interviews, or people may, you can come out and do a guest podcast, whatever, but joint venture partnerships. So me being invited out to the MLSP community was like a joint venture partnership. I was producing, they wanted me to teach their community. So I came out to do that. And that was traffic again that I earned. This is a great way also is creating content. So you're putting in some sweat equity in creating content to earn traffic. Okay. You're earning that traffic because you're putting in effort, you're putting it in there. You're putting some sweat equity, some muscle into it. But content is a great way to earn traffic. Now, we don't see this a lot in our space, but it's like doing a TV show also. That's a great way to earn it too. Like if you get invited on, think about all the celebrities that get invited to, the Tonight Show or whatever other shows are out there, and they get all that exposure, to that audience. And that's what they earned because, hey, they created a great movie, or they're promoting a movie, and they've done a joint, venture partnership to get exposure through the TV station, whatever it may be. But this again is traffic that you earn. Now, social media is another one way of traffic you earn. Okay. So if you're out on social media and you're doing organic type stuff, this is traffic that you're earning through sweat equity. Okay. And, social media could also be, it could be another where you get interviewed on social media and it gets streamed out to social media, YouTube, wherever, other places. So that could be the case too. But, this is a great way to get traffic that you earn. You're putting in effort, you're getting a return on that effort. So you're either going to, put the sweat equity in, you're going to pay one way or the other. You're going to pay either in sweat equity or you're going to pay in dollars. And that leads me to our next one, which is traffic you control. So how can you control traffic? Well, if I have an offer, okay, that I want to put out there, I could set up a Facebook ad. Okay. I can set a Facebook ad. And as long as I'm paying for that Facebook ad, I'm going to get traffic to my website. Okay. This is traffic that I'm controlling because I put money down. Facebook in turn will give me clicks and give me leads, things like that. Google ads, same thing. Pinterest ads, contextual ads, if you're doing any type of contextual advertising. Okay. really any paid source of traffic. So all of these, I control it. I control it based on whether I want to, start an ad or not. And I can stop and start that ad at any point. So I control the traffic. However, I have to pay. As wherewith when you're doing the traffic that you earn, you're putting in the sweat equity to get it. Okay. So that's one way to get it. But what we are really looking to do is we want traffic you own. Okay. This is really the big one. And how do you get traffic that you own? Your email list. This is where you own the asset. You understand? You own the asset, because the ultimate goal here is to take traffic you earn through content, JV partnerships, interviews, podcasts, all that stuff we talked about. And then traffic that you control, any paid traffic that you get through Facebook ads or Google ads or Pinterest ads, or, maybe you run YouTube ads as well, whatever it may be. We all want to drive everything that we do back into the traffic that we own. So if you get to go out and you're doing, some type of an interview, or somebody puts you in front of their audience, you ultimately want to get that exposure to drive people back to the traffic that you own. All I want people on my email list. That's it. Okay. I usually never tell people, hey, go over and follow me on Facebook, send me a friend request. No, I never say that. Like, sure, I'll send people over there after they're on my email list. So I'll have an email where I may send it out and say, hey, join me on my Facebook page. And by the way, if you haven't, come on over and like it. In an email, I'll send that out. So I'm not focused on building up my Facebook page, my YouTube subscribers, or how many friends I got first. All I care about first and foremost is I want you on the dang email list. That's what it all comes down to. If I can get you on that, then I'll focus on building up my social media with my email list. Because if I got you in your email inbox, I can send you anywhere I want. You know why? Because it's traffic that I own. I can send you anywhere I want. And then I can focus on not only being in the inbox for people, but then I can connect with them on social media as well. But they're getting emails of mine. They're seeing posts of mine, whatever. I'm in multiple places. But the first and foremost thing I care about the most is getting them on my email list, because I want to own that traffic. I want to own that asset, because that is the number one thing in my business that makes all the difference. It is traffic that you own. See, look, do you guys remember this? Let me know in the chat if you remember this. About a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, Facebook went down for 6 or 7 hours. Okay. They went down for 6 or 7 hours. I see you guys in the chat. You guys totally remember this. Okay. This went down, and boy, you'd think everybody was freaking out. Like, I mean, all I could think about when this went down, as I went over to Facebook, and it was so interesting because I went to Facebook and I didn't even freak out. Like, because I want to be real with you for a second. I can't stand social media. Like, honestly, like, I'm on it. I love the people that I connect with, but I honestly, like, if I did not, if I wasn't in marketing, I probably would not be using Facebook. I'm just telling you, I probably wouldn't even be using social media. As much as I love it, I also hate it. You know what I mean? But the point is that I want to really focus on what works. But when this went down, when Facebook went down for 6, 7 hours, all I thought was, well, I got nothing to worry about. I got an email list. I'll just send out an email to people. I'll focus on sending a cool email out today. I'll create a piece of content on my website and I'll send it out to my email list. See, what you want to be thinking about when you're building a business is you got to stop thinking short term. You want to start thinking long term. And long-term thinking is, how do I own my own business assets? A couple months ago, we did a whole bunch of training on blogging. One of the things I love about my blog is that I own my blog. I own my content. I have it all. It's mine. It's all mine. Okay. So nobody's going to shut me down. Okay. It's mine. I own it. I pay for the hosting. Like, it's in my name. It's mine. Okay. My videos I create, they're mine. Now I do put them on YouTube, but I also save them all. So it's very easily for, I could take all those videos and put them right back up if I was to get shut down on YouTube. But the point is that all that content is mine and it's in my central location. Same idea with the email list. When I create that list, it's mine. I can take it with me wherever I choose. Now, here is a reality check, a tragic reality check. Okay. Now I blanked out who the person was, but I'm in a group. Okay. It's a video marketing group, and it's the guy who runs it is very, very big influencer on YouTube. And in this group, somebody posted this, about a week ago. Did anyone hear about Sarah Therese's channel being hacked and deleted? She had over 1 million followers. 1 million followers. And look what I commented. All the more reason to be building an email list to protect your business. Unfortunately, so many influencers don't build it, and in the long run suffer because of it. Sucks that happens. I will tell you this. There's some other influencers that I follow on Instagram. Okay. And here's the thing. There are people that I follow. I remember following this one influencer, got 300,000 or 400,000 followers on Instagram. And she did a YouTube video, and she was talking about what she was going to do for her business. This is probably 8-9 months ago, what she was going to be focusing on in 2021. And I remember she's talking in this video, and she goes, I have an email list, and I built a good size email list, but I never send out emails. And that's one of my goals this year, is to send out emails. And I'm thinking, you got to be joking me. Like, this woman is making boatloads of money in her business. She's using social media to do it, but she's neglecting the number one channel that could drive her revenue through the roof. And I commented, and I was just like, hey, if I can give you any advice by what you've shared, make sure you take care of that email list. That's the biggest asset you have. Like, here's this influencer, got all this huge following. All it would take is one flick of the switch, and she could lose all of that. All her business that she's built up could be gone in a heartbeat, because you know why? She didn't nurture the one thing that was the most important thing in her business. You see, when you do that, you can then use social media to also get the word out, but then you can also lead people to, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to send out this information tomorrow. If you want to get it, you got to make sure you're on my email list. Send people over there to do it. So send people over to get on the email list. So make it kind of exclusive, things that people want to hear. But I'm telling you, I was shocked when I heard this. So this right here is a tragic example of somebody who spent a lot of time, a lot of effort. Their channel got hacked and it got deleted. Over 1 million followers, all that work, kaput, gone. Okay. If she had an email list, she would at least be able to really focus on getting her business back up and going. So tragic reality. I could pull up literally, guys, hundreds of examples. Okay. I just got one here, but hundreds of examples for you of people that this has happened to. Several years ago, there was this thing like the YouTube purge. YouTube was deleting channels left and right. People that had built up followings were getting massive lead flow, all that kind of stuff just vanished, because they decided to delete their channels. Okay. So the reality check is you don't own your social media following at all. Okay. Like you're literally playing on rented ground when you're playing on social media. Again, I'm not against social media. Use that tool like crazy. Go on there, do everything you can to drive people back to the email list though. That's, remember what we said, traffic you earn. You want to earn traffic, absolutely, but you want to drive it all back to the traffic that you own, because you don't own social media. All I remember is when Facebook went down, all I thought to myself was, there are so many people today that can't get on Messenger and follow up with their prospects. There are so many people that were going to sign somebody up in their business today at 3:00. They were supposed to meet them inside of Messenger and they couldn't do it. You want to know why? Because Facebook Messenger was down. So it just goes to show you that it's one of the most important things. Now, I'm going to do something really cool here. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a case study. Okay. So here's a case study. I'm going to share with you, there's a bike shop called Albie's Bike Shop. And for those of you that know me, I've been into BMX for a long time. Now, I don't ride so much anymore, but back in the day, back in, my high school days, I used to ride BMX. My buddies and I, we would do BMX freestyle. I used to do all the ramp riding. I went to contests. My buddies and I, we did shows. We traveled all over the country doing BMX. And so I've always been into it. My buddy's been into it. I'm still into it. And my buddy owns this bike shop called Albie's Bike Shop. Now it's up in Michigan. And he's been one of my best friends since I was 15 years old. We still talk today. But one of the cool things that I want to show you here, how this pertains to email marketing. So this is one of the biggest bike shops in the world. No joke. Okay. It's a small bike shop in Michigan. They're based out of Michigan. But they take orders all over the world and they ship all over the world. Okay. And I'm talking millions and millions and millions of dollars of sales that go into this company. It's been around since the 1960s. I actually used to work there. Okay. If you want to see some video of me riding bike, go over to my blog at markharbert.com, look on my about page, and I've got some video over there if you want to check it out. All right. So anyway, here's the video. Okay. Or excuse me, here's the site. Now in this site, one of the things that they do that Mark does, my friend Mark, is when they are out of stock on something, check this out. So this is one thing where they're selling a BMX frame. But if you look behind, it says sold out. But one of the things that they do is you see the little red button on the bottom. It says email me when available. Okay. So what happens is when they're out of stock on something, people put in their email address and it adds them to a very specific list for that product. So what happens is when that product now gets in stock, it'll automatically send an email to those who added their email address to them to let them know that, hey, it's back in stock. Come on back over. So people do this, and I have done it as a matter of fact. So here's what I did today. I went over and I texted my buddy Mark and I asked him this question. Check this out. Today at 3:23, I said, I'm doing a big webinar for my business tonight on email marketing, but I wanted to ask you this question. With the success of Albie's, how important would you say your email notifications are for making sales for you guys when products come in? He said, the back in stock emails are huge. It's very direct and pinpointed, so it works very well. Depending on the product, some shit, he's a biker, sells out in minutes because of that feature. And I said, crazy, that's awesome. And I remembered, okay, since I'm into BMX, I love to go and rebuild older BMX bikes. Okay. So last year I was working on a bike that was a 1985 bike. And I'm making a point here and I want you to see this. This is how powerful email is. Now, this is an e-commerce example, but it applies to anything. So I was building out this 1985 bicycle and I wanted some very specific tires for it that were specific to that era. Okay. So I was waiting for them. I went on there on the site. I added my name. So November 12th, 2020, I get this email from Albie's BMX, the bike shop. Okay. And it says, great news. The GT Bikes Heritage 20 tires back in stock. We thought you'd like to know. So I want you to look really, really close at this. This is at 12:22 in the afternoon. So I order the tires. And then I texted my buddy, Mark, and I said, love the Albie's site setup, man. Emails the updates when stuff is back in stock. Was waiting on the GT vintage tires. I got the email and ordered right away today. Pretty sweet, man. You guys have done an awesome job with the website. Look what he posted back. This is an hour and a half later. And he says, good thing you ordered fast. We got 250 of those tires in and we have 4 left. This is literally in an hour and a half time span. So this is an e-commerce example, but in talking with him, I've talked with him about this several times. This is such a huge driver for them of their sales because it's like anticipation. So they never take things down when they're on the website. They never do that. They leave it up because people want to be notified. So they get stuff in stock and it's gone immediately. I mean, it's insane. And this is the power of email, guys. This is how it works. This is just one example and something completely unrelated to the online marketing niche, so to speak, but in an e-commerce example. And I love it. And my buddy, if you're ever into bikes, you like BMX, go buy from these guys. Trust me, they're awesome. My buddy runs it. He's the owner. I love it, man. I used to work there too. So I thought it was pretty cool. What do you guys think of that? Pretty awesome, huh? So what's better, social media or email marketing? So I'm going to try and put this in a context for you so that you can understand. And I tried to put a little bit of numbers together based upon, some of my own research. And I tried to do the best I can. I'm not the best at math, so I don't think in numbers. That's really not my forte, but I'm going to give you the best that I can. But check this out. Here's why email is better than social media. Now, this is from a website called nerdwallet.com. And here's what they posted. How much do Instagram influencers make? So people that have big followings, look at this. The top 5 Instagram influencers as of April 2021 have over 200 million followers each and include Cristiano Ronaldo, Ariana Grande, Dwayne Johnson, Kylie Jenner, and Selena Gomez. According to Search Journal, while the money these Instagram superstars can make is astronomical, the income people who aren't celebrities can make is not necessarily chump change. But look at this. Influencers with 1 million followers can earn somewhere around $670 per post. Think about that for a moment. $670 per post. The search marketing website says, think about how many followers you got to have make $670 per post. A content creator on Instagram with 100,000 followers can earn about $200 per post, while someone with 10,000 followers can make about $88 per post. I can tell you right now, I could very easily say that if you did it right with 10,000 email subscribers, I guarantee you could make way more than that with email. Okay. So the formula is more followers plus more posts equals more money. However, check this out. This is HubSpot. Okay. And this is an article that they put up, but I really want you to focus in here on what they wrote. Nowadays, marketers put a lot of emphasis on webinars, video campaigns, and other new opportunities to reach their customers. Think about all of the sites that pop up, all of the new social media sites, all of the new things that pop up. People put all their emphasis on those. But look what it says. But when your contemporary communication methods shouldn't distract you from the one of the oldest and yet most effective messaging channels, email. You might be wondering if email is still a worthwhile strategy. Well, it is. In fact, email generates $42 for every $1 spent, which is an astounding 4,200% ROI, return on investment, making it one of the most effective options available. The thing that's been around the longest is still the most effective channel for getting sales. It is your own distribution channel that you create, that you own, and it will secure your business for the long run. Now, so what's better, social media or email marketing? The answer is they both have their place in your marketing plan. However, I know for sure that when I'm counting on sales, when I'm counting on really being able to secure my business long-term with something I own, an asset I create, I'm going to go for email marketing every single time more than Facebook followers. I don't care about followers. I don't care about subscribers on social media. I don't care about subscribers on my YouTube channel. I don't care about any of that. For me, it's all about the list, all about the list. So let's talk about the Bes Blueprint. Okay. This is very simple, but it works incredibly well. And for those of you that have been on my email list for a while, I guarantee you've seen this. I'm just going to spell it out for you. So you focus on building your list with targeted prospects interested in what you have to offer. So very simple. You get people on the list that are your target audience, people who are interested in what you have, okay, and what you offer. And then you work on engaging them. You engage your subscribers by creating content that is relevant to them and stuff that can help them. Okay. How many of you guys see when I put out blog posts and videos and I send it out in my email list? Just let me know in the chat. How many of you guys noticed that? Leslie, she does. Keith, Greg, absolutely. Eric, absolutely. Michelle, absolutely. Steven, yeah, you guys noticed that. Okay, because the focus here is I'm going to build my list, but I'm also going to engage them. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they build an email list is they build a list and they never email it. It's the worst thing you could ever do. As a matter of fact, it is the cardinal sin of email list building. It really is. You're building an email list, but yet you never email them. How does that make sense? Imagine you have this social media account, but you log in every day and post something on Facebook. Why can you not do that with an email list? You see, most people are focused on the wrong thing, guys. They are. I'm not saying don't post on Facebook, but I'm just saying if you have an email list, you better be emailing it. Okay. The next in this whole formula is build, engage, and then of course, sell. So you're going to make periodic offers to your list to help them reach their goals quicker. So it really is that simple. Okay. It really is. You focus on building it, you engage them through content, and you make periodic offers to your list to help them reach their goals. So what happens is through the engagement aspect, they get to know you, like you, and trust you. And through that process, eventually people will buy. I've had people that have sat on my list for, a year or two, and they finally decided to purchase something at some point. I've literally had people tell me that. Mark, I've been following you for like 2 years. I see all your blog posts. I see all your videos. I've never bought anything from you. And I finally decided to buy something. Wow. How cool is that? So they get all my emails. They've noticed what I've done. And all of that time, eventually, when they were ready to buy something, they did. And that's how it works. But it's through the continual engagement, the almost boringness of it. Okay. Like I do the same thing over and over and over. And I've been doing it for years now. And it just keeps churning out money. I don't know. I mean, why would I want to put all my focus on TikTok? Now, I love TikTok. Don't get me wrong. I've learned some serious hacks on TikTok. But for me, TikTok, it really isn't something I want to pursue, because for me, I can't really reach my audience there. And quite frankly, I'd rather just go on there and start watching videos and learn few cool things, maybe learn a recipe or two. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So here's some email marketing tips. Now I'm going to move through these, but I want you to get ready. A couple of the things that I'm going to share with you here are really a big deal. Okay. I'm going to share with you a couple of things here, probably you've never heard before. Okay. So, and there's a couple of things that might seem a little technical, but I at least want to give them to you so that you can understand that this is something you do want to pursue. Okay. But here's the deal. Here's some tips for you. So the very first tip that I have for you when you're putting together and you're setting up your email list. Now, I said this to this group a couple weeks ago, and everybody started kind of freaking out because they realized they were doing this. And that very first tip is never, and I mean never, use a free email account as your sender email with your autoresponder service. So if you use Aweber and you go in and you set up your email list, you do not want to put your sender email like as a Gmail account or a Yahoo account or an Outlook account. That's a huge no-no. Now, you used to be able to do that. However, I'm going to share with you in just a second about email spoofing, and I'll tell you what that is. So what happens is Gmail, when they see emails coming from another Gmail account that is sent via a bulk email responder like Aweber or, MailChimp or Constant Contact or you name it. There's plenty of them out there, Active Campaign, whatever it may be. They will immediately send that email to the spam folder. Okay. Immediately, without even a second thought. Now, they didn't do that a couple years ago, but that changed a couple years ago. And there's still people that are doing it. So if you have a free email account right now in your sender email, you need to go change that and set up your own domain. Okay. Go to GoDaddy, buy your own domain, and use it and set up a G Suite account. It's literally like $5 or $6 a month to set up your own G Suite account using your own domain and using the Gmail software with your own domain. It works fantastic. I love it. I've been using it for years. So you want to make sure that you do that. Okay. Very, very clear. Here's your next tip. Email spoofing is real. Okay. Now let me tell you what email spoofing is. Okay. So email spoofing is when, okay, spam, or can we agree that email spam is a problem? Okay. Can we agree on that? Put it in the chat. Yes, we know it's a problem. How many times do you go in your spam folder and it's literally loaded with just crap? I mean, just all kinds of crap, people sending all kinds of junk. I mean, you know, obviously we're talking scammers, all kinds of stuff. Okay. But one of the things that scammers have learned to do, and scammers and spammers, is they have, over the years, what they've done is they could take your email account. So let's just say Brenda Hartzog. Okay. I'm here. I see you on there. Okay. Let's say you have brenda@gmail.com. The scammer can take your email, set it up in the email service as it coming from Brenda. Okay. And then they'll send it out. Well, over time, Gmail has caught on to that, and all the others like Yahoo and Outlook and all of them have caught on that spammers do that. It's called email spoofing. It's trying to make it look like it's coming from you and not from someone else. And if you go through your spam folder and you look, I'll bet you'll find some of people that have actually used your email. Well, over the years, all the email service providers have had to come up with solutions in order to combat that. Okay. So in the last couple of years, it has become very important that you set up what's called an SPF, a DKIM, and a DMARC record to authenticate your email. Okay, so that they know this is a genuine email coming from you, from an email service, that you're giving that email service the permission and that you own that domain. Okay, this is a technical thing. So if you don't know what SPF is, or DKIM, or DMARC, look, just write it down. You can look it up and start understanding what it is. But most autoresponders today will allow you to set these things up, okay? Especially DKIM. Okay, you can do that, but there's other things that you have to do with the actual domain itself. And again, you can start to research these a little bit, but these things are really crucial to helping you get the absolute best email deliverability, which means getting past spam filters, which means getting in the inbox inside of Gmail. Okay, these are things that I've literally learned from email deliverability experts paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for their advice. These are people that specialize in email deliverability. Okay, and these are things I'm telling you right now. I know huge influencers with massive email lists that have actually reached out to me and said, hey, do you know any email deliverability experts? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, here you go. And they've had people help them set this up. So you want to start looking to understand what this is and really, really getting it set up, because it'll help you in the long run with, so the two things: have your own domain, learn to set up all these SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records to authenticate your email. Okay. It might be a little confusing to you, but so important. Okay. Connect your domain to postmaster.google.com. And this will allow you to analyze and monitor your reputation with Gmail. If you're building an email list, you will find that 75% of your email list is Gmail accounts. Okay, that is the #1 email service that people use. So you want to make sure that you're really monitoring how you do with Google. I check this all the time. Okay, I set it up. I set my domain, I connect it, I authenticate it with Google. And guess what? It allows me to monitor and see my reputation. And as of right now, I have a very, very high sender reputation, which is exactly where I want to be. Okay. Next one is, okay, this is a huge one. Okay. This is a huge tip for you. Okay. So write this down for those of you that are on here. How many times have you sent an email and it goes into the primary tab? Anybody here? I know some big emails like my Cobbs. I know you're on here. You know, you send a lot of emails, I'm sure. You've sent an email, it ends up in the primary tab, right? Okay, so Eric's sent one. Okay, so here's the deal. So this is just one little thing that you can do. set up a dummy Gmail account. Don't touch anything. Just set it up, leave it exactly the way it is when you set it up, and use it as a test account to send your emails to before you send them to your bigger list, and make sure that they don't go to the promotions or spam filter now, or the spam folder. So here's what you do. If it does go to those, then you change up the email. You change it up, change some of the wording, change up a couple things, and then send another test. And if it goes to the inbox, guess what? You're golden. 9 times out of 10, you're golden. You're good to go. The other day, I sent out an email and I did not do this test beforehand. And guess what happened? It went to the promotions folder. And I said, oh man, I knew it. Like after I sent the email, about 20 minutes after I sent it, I know how my list reacts. So, I know the type of engagement I get when I send out certain emails. And I knew it that this was not getting a lot of engagement very quickly, which told me it was in the promo tab. Sure enough, I went over to my test account and dang it, it was in there. So I made some changes to the email, sent a test out, and it went back to the inbox. So if I'd have tested it beforehand, I would have, made it to the inbox, but that's the deal. So set up a dummy Gmail account and don't touch anything. Just use it as a test account. Does that make sense? Huge tip, guys. I'm telling you, huge tip. Here's a couple more. Avoid spammy words in your emails, like make money online, make money, make millions, all these kind of things. All of those will trigger spam filters. Okay. Those are things you want to avoid. Just like you don't want to be making outlandish, claims and stuff on Facebook. You do want to be careful in your emails. Now, you do have a lot more leeway in emails than you do in your, and Elaine is asking what changes you make. I'll tell you in just a second what changes I made. Avoid spammy words, but you do have a lot more leeway. You can actually get away with a lot more, in your emails. However, I still wouldn't make crazy claims, okay? Because number one, you should care about your reputation. Don't make crazy claims. Be honest with your audience. Take care of them. But there is a lot more leeway in email than there is on social media, okay? So, but really work to avoid those, because there are certain spam filters that look for certain signs that could send it to the spam folder. Okay. Now keep your emails more personal in nature. 99% of the time, as the ESPs, which is the email service providers, they like to see a more personal style of an email than a promo. Okay. When I get a little too markety, when I get a little too promotion-y, okay. when I get a little too hypey, and there's times I do, I don't get the best results. I get better results when it's a shorter email and it's more personal in nature. Okay. And use your email list as a two-way communication. Okay. Most people think of email as it's a one-way communication. I send out an email, people click, they buy stuff. No, use your email as a way to communicate back and forth with your list. Okay. I love, maybe some of you times you guys have gotten some of my emails where I'm asking you to reply back to me. It's because number one, I want to have that interaction with you. But the other thing is there's 2 major benefits. So I get to connect with you, but guess who likes to see the back and forth? The ESPs, the email service providers, Gmail, Yahoo. They like to see that back and forth because guess what? It shows them that it's legitimate. It shows them that this is real email. And you know what it does? It improves your email sender score. So there's things like this. Not only do you get to create better relationships with your subscribers, but you're also upping that sender score, which makes your emails more likely to hit where they're at. It's part of the reason I've got such a great, engagement on my highly engaged segment of my list. Okay. So who was it? It was Elaine was asking, what changes did I make? Avoid excessive links in your emails. If you notice one thing about spammy emails, they're loaded with links. Okay. You want to limit your emails to no more than 3 links, preferably only 1 link if you can swing it. Okay. The more links, the more spammy it looks. Okay. So the email that I had that went to the primary tab, it had 3 links in it. And afterwards I was like, I usually don't put that many links in an email. So I removed one of the links. I shortened up some of the text. and changed some of the wording, and boom, it went right to the inbox. Because number one, I got rid of the links, all the links that were in it. So, it just looks more spammy. So, and you have to understand that you have people on the other end who have dreams and goals and are looking for help. They're not just a lead. Now, I know we like to refer to people as leads, or, we have a list of emails and they're leads, but you got to remember there's a real person on the side of that email that has goals and dreams. So if you keep that at the forefront of your mind when you're sending out emails and you're really looking to communicate with people, your email list can be the most valuable thing that you own. It's because you have people that trust you. You have people that are willing to hear from you. You own it, so it can't be taken away from you. And you're treating it with the highest of respect, and you're really, really creating engagement. And that's what will make your email list a massive, massive tool for not only the future, but it's really going to make it super good for your business moving forward. And it'll really provide you the security that you're looking for. I know none of you guys on here want to come in, make a bunch of money, and then be a flash in the pan and back to where you're at. You're in this for the long haul, and that's what you need. Okay. So does it matter if one link in 3 different spots on the email? I can tell you that I would not link up more. I mean, that's what spammy people do too. They don't typically have different type links. It's all one link going to several different, they have several different things linked going to the one place. So I just think the more links you have in general, the worse. So I would just, anytime you can, keep it to one link. And, that would be the best thing that I can give you. Okay. You could probably go to 2, and you could probably even get away with 3 at times, but I don't know that I'd even go that high. I mean, I like to be very conservative about it and really try and get the best, the best results that I can. Okay. So those are my email tips. Did you guys get some value from those tips? Did you guys get some value from those? Yeah. Awesome. All right. Okay. So here's the deal. We've been going at this for an hour. Okay. And what I'm going to do here in just a moment, I'm going to open it up for questions. But one of the things that I do want to ask you guys, okay, we're going to get into, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the workshop we're going to do. Because if you think what I shared here tonight was awesome, guys, you haven't seen nothing yet. Okay. There is so much more I want to share with you. And I can only do so much on a training like this. Okay. So my question to you is, who's ready to 10X their email marketing results? Give me a hoo-ha. Let's do it. Let's rock. Because I want your permission to talk to you about this workshop. And if it's for you, awesome. If it's not, that's cool too. Okay. I don't, I'm not here to hard sell you. Like, it either makes sense or it doesn't. Okay. So here we go. Let's talk about it. So you can go with me to emailtrafficplaybook.com. All right. So go ahead and grab your browser and go on over there. I'm going to pop this down and I'm going to open up my browser. And we're going to go there right now. So emailtrafficplaybook.com. And I'm going to talk to you about our workshop that we're going to do. Okay. And I want to go through it with you and explain to you what we're going to do. I am super excited about this, but if you really liked what I shared tonight, we're going to go in depth over 6 weeks. So this is going to be a 6-week workshop that we're going to do. It's $297 to be a part of it. It's going to be all live. And our schedule is we're starting a week from tonight. Okay. And we're going to do it at 9 p.m. We're going to do it on Tuesday, the 23rd. And then we'll have Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, we'll come back. And the next Tuesday, we're going to do another session. And then that week, we're going to do another session. We're going to do 2 sessions that week, Tuesday and Thursday. But here's the schedule for you. And every session that we're going to do is going to be recorded, and you'll have access to it very, very quickly. For those of you that have been around a while, we get our recordings up very, very quickly. So I'm going to scroll down here real quick. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about. So this is called the Email Traffic Playbook, and we're going to create this course. Okay. You're going to do this with me over 6 weeks. And what we're going to do is this is going to be one of my flagship courses. Okay. I have another flagship course that I created called the Automation Playbook. This is called the Email Traffic Playbook. Okay. This is solely focused on email marketing And that's where it's at. That's really where it's at. It's going to be focused on helping you get the absolute best results that you can with email marketing. So the first week, we're going to talk about the basics. Like I'm going to go into a lot of the basics. I'm going to share some things with you similar to what I shared tonight, going more in depth on the things that you need to do to set up correctly and get things going. We're going to talk about some of the things that allow you to get the best results with your email. Okay. Some of the things that people don't teach, people that we don't talk about. A lot of people don't know these things. You know, even though email has been around a long time, it's still, it's changed. You know, it's changed in a way because the email service providers have had to adjust to the amount of abuse and spam. So we need to adjust with that and have a whole bunch of best practices. So we're really going to talk about best practices, things that you need to know, go in depth on that. And then some of the advanced stuff, okay, that I talked about, where I talked about SPF records, DKIM, DMARC, all that. I'm going to go through all that in detail with you. Okay. Some of the things that people don't know, things that I've paid hundreds and thousands of dollars to learn, I'm going to share it with you in session 2. This is where we're going to talk about setting up all of that, your domain, your email. We're going to set up all of the things. I'm going to actually give you guys a bunch of the things to do. Like there's little pieces of code that you need to set these things up. I'm going to give that to you and show you how to do it. Okay. We're going to go into that. I may even have a deliverability expert come out because there's a tool that I use that's free to use, but I know the guy who runs it and it helps me, and it connects to like 15 different type of autoresponders that help you establish and view all of your email engagement and things like that. It's pretty awesome. I'm looking at having him come out again too. So you want to go to emailtrafficplaybook.com, emailtrafficplaybook.com. Okay. Week 3, we're going to talk about engagement. A huge factor with email is engagement. I'm going to give you a whole slew of different engagement tactics and email and how to write good emails. Okay. This course is not just going to be about how to write good emails. There's a lot of people that will do that. They will teach you, they'll create an email course. It's all about how to write good emails. Okay. This is not going to be that, only that, but we will go into that. There's so many other things that go on in the background that people don't know about that's going to give them better results if they just follow and do the things that they need to. Session 4 is going to be all about purging. We're going to talk about, this ties into the engagement factor, but I'm going to talk to you more about the email service providers and how it's important to purge your email list. I'm going to show you all kinds of strategies. I'm going to show you things on how you could do it automatically. We're going to go into a whole bunch of things that people do. You know, some of the gurus out there do. I'm going to show you what they do in order to keep their lists really, really clean. And we're going to go into segmentation really deep. I'm going to show you more on that. It's going to be really cool. And then the perpetual lead flow, I'm going to go into some email or some lead generation strategies on helping you build that list. Okay. So we're going to hit a bunch of different ones that will definitely help you. And session 6, we're going to go into coaching. So my goal here is to help you with this. Okay. So we're going to do some coaching sessions and it'll be all live on the 6th session. And we may add in, I mean, if you guys know, like when I do live workshops, if we need to add in sessions, we'll do that. You know, I've done that in many cases. So if I feel like we need to go more in depth on something, we'll add a session in. And so this will be an evolving course, that's for sure. But this is the kind of general outline we're going to follow. And as we go, and as I get feedback from you guys, I kind of make changes as we go. And of course, we're going to have a Facebook group for it, so we can all interact in there and do that. So the course is $297. After this launch, after we do this definitely will be going up to a bare minimum of $497. So that is without question whatsoever. And, but you get the course, we'll have the audio version. I'm in the process of creating an email subject line swipe file that is going to be loaded with ideas for subject lines. I've got one that I'm working on called the email words to avoid. So a list of email words you want to avoid when writing emails, because they can trigger spam filters. And of course, like I said, you get access to the mastermind group. So check it out. Look, if it makes sense to you, get signed up and join us. It's going to be awesome. My workshops, I love to over deliver. And as you can see, there's a lot of great comments here from people that have done these in the past with us. All right. So if you want to check it out, let me just pull this over. Here's the information. And what I want to do is answer any questions for you. So you go to emailtrafficplaybook.com. Now, here's the thing. For those of you, there's a fast action bonus here. Okay. For the first 20 people that pay the full $297 to sign up, you're going to get 3 bonus group mastermind sessions with me to pick my brain and get additional help with your email marketing. Okay. So this is a fact for those of you. I like decisive people. Okay. So take action. The first 20 to pay the $297 will get these 3 session bonuses. Now I usually charge extra for these masterminds, but I really want to give you guys every incentive and really help you with this. So jump on board with it, grab it and move. And if you have any problems, email us at support@markharbert.com. Okay. Because we definitely want to help you out. And I'm just excited about this. Email has been the #1 thing that has driven all the sales in my business for the most part. Sure, I make some from social media here and there, but without question, email is the major driver. So what I want to do is open it up for some questions. If you guys have questions, put them into the Q&A box, or you can type them there in the chat too, and I'll do my best to get to them. But what do you guys think? Did you get some value tonight? My goal #1, whether you decide to do the workshop with us or not, was to make sure you walk away with some value, some things that you feel like you can, you get some actionable stuff you can do. I'd love to have you, during the workshop. This is just the beginning. We're going to go into so much good stuff. I'm pumped about it, but this is definitely one of those areas that I know I excel at. That's just one of my strengths is my email list. And it's where my focus has been. So awesome. I'm glad you guys got some value there. So, all right. So let's see here. Let's answer some questions. So Mike Hobbs, he's asking, what autoresponder are you using these days? I still use Infusionsoft or Keep. It's called Keep now, but I use Keep. That's what I've been using for years, for the last 6 years. And it's what I use to basically run my business. Of course, for those of you that want to know what an autoresponder is, it's basically the service that you use to build your email list. Okay. Aweber is one of them. Constant Contact, Get Response. There's a whole slew of them out there. Drip, what's some other ones? There's just a ton of them out there. MailChimp. So, it's all the same. So, Laura's asking, Mark, what if you don't have a list yet? Will this course benefit me even before I build my list? Absolutely, 100%. If you don't have an email list, I will tell you, you're probably going to be better off than a lot of people, because there are people that have email lists. And quite frankly, they haven't done a lot of what I'm talking about, and they'll have a harder time adjusting their list over, to be honest. These are things that you'll have to work on. But yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go into some of the best ways for you to build your email list. I'll be talking about that in one of the sessions. We're definitely going to go into that. So if you don't even have an email list now, this is by far going to be one of the best things to lay the foundation for you to really have a successful business with email. This is the foundation. Like when I first got started back in 2008, everybody was talking about building an email list. Everybody. I mean, that's all people said. Build your list, the money's in the list. This. You got to build a list. I mean, that's all people talked about. Now, all they talk about is social media following. So, like building up your following, and, got to run over to your TikTok, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And, everything but the email list. It's like a lot of people in our space, it's like they don't even talk about it anymore, which is really kind of surprising to me. There's really not a lot of training on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Steph Perez, she's a great example. Steph's been around a while. Email list building was the first thing she learned, and she stayed true to it. And we've had some of that benefit. Like Steph and I have been around a little while, I've been around since 2008. So I was around at a time, when people were like, that was the main focus. And as social media came along and all these other ones, people just started to put more and more focus on building their social media followings than building what really matters. So Leslie says, what's the deadline date for enrolling? So this will be open, just so you know. You got the fast action bonus. So if you want to take advantage of that, I would tell you, we're going to set that up. So once we get our first 20, we'll let you know in an email and we'll set up those mastermind sessions. But this will be open until next week on Tuesday. So a week from tonight, we will close it. And that's it, so we will be done. And from there, we're going to create the course and then we'll come back at a later point, reopen it, but it'll more than likely be $497. So let's see here. When sending email to a network like a school, will your traffic playbook be relevant, as I'm not in network marketing? 100%, Jason, 100%. I mean, think about this. I showed you tonight how email marketing works for a bike shop in Michigan, my buddy's bike shop. This can apply across all niches. Okay. I'm talking every niche. It's not just network marketing or online marketing or affiliate marketing. I mean, businesses of all sorts. I mean, I'm in a big Facebook group for my autoresponder. There's people in there that are lawyers. There's people in there that do consulting services. These are people that do all kinds of different businesses. Everything I'm going to teach you is applicable to every single niche, no matter who it is. If you're in politics, if you're in, whatever it is, you name it, this will work. This applies everywhere. Okay. The email service providers, they don't care, like, essentially what the content is, so to speak. All they care about is, is it spam? So you can create a list of, super targeted followers and email them about anything that you want. Look, some of you guys know who Ben Settle is. Ben Settle's a big email marketer. He was in a niche for men's prostate problems. So that ought to tell you this works for pretty much anything. And he drove that business strictly by email. And, this was the whole thing. It was about, it was about supplements for like prostate issues and things like that. Just things that would help men with that problem, and that was a super targeted niche. So do you have a link to Keep for autoresponder? I don't see it. Googling Keep. Yeah, I'll get you one if you want one. Just hit me up. You can send me an email or hit me up on Facebook. So, all right, let me see here. Let's go through. I'm going to go down here and we're going to check these out. Okay, so Craig is asking, will this work in platforms like HubSpot or Zoho? Absolutely, 100%. It'll work in every platform. I'm going to give you the basics so it can apply to everyone, but pretty much every major autoresponder will work the way I talk about in this whole thing. Doesn't matter which one you use. They all have basic standards that they function by. ConvertKit, yes, that's another one. After the program, how long would it take to start getting steady income? It's really all up to you, Janet, for sure. I mean, I can just teach you, I can show you how to do things, but ultimately it comes down to you doing the work. So I can lead you there. I can show you what I got. I guarantee you're going to get the best of what I have during this workshop. No question about it. I'm going to give you the best that I got, but ultimately it's up to you, how long that takes. Let's see here. Eric says, do you have more than one list? Okay. So in my specific autoresponder, I don't create lists, so to speak. It's one big list, but I have what are called tags, and it allows me to tag my contacts with certain tags. So like, for instance, for those of you that purchase tonight, when you go through, you're going to purchase, it's going to put a tag on your contact profile. Okay. And that tells me that, hey, you purchased the email traffic playbook. And then if I want to send an email or an update to you, all I need to do is choose all the people that have that tag and I send them an email. It's that simple. Now there's other places like Aweber that allow you to create separate lists. So you can create an email list for this and an email list for that. So each one of them is different, but with mine, it's based on tags. All right, let's see here. So Tom says, I've heard it forever, but haven't done it. So maybe this is your time there, buddy. Maybe this is your time to get in there and start creating that list. I mean, I'm telling you, it's definitely something you want to do and you need to do. I'll tell you, when you're doing anything online, If you look at all the top marketers, all the 6 and 7 figure marketers that are online, they all build an email list. Every single one of them. I could name them like crazy. I could probably, keep going on and on and on and on and on about all the people that use email to build. And it's all the top marketers that are making 6 and 7 figures a year. I promise you this, okay? The 6 and 7 figure earners are not spending all their time on social media. Now, there are, like, I'll tell you, my buddy Ray Higdon, he spends a lot of time on social media. But if you notice, man, the driver of his business is all email. Okay. I could name a whole bunch of Peng Joon. If you don't know who Peng Joon is, he's awesome. I love that guy. He's from, I believe it's Singapore, but he's a huge email marketer, like, a huge email marketer, really big. And, but the email is the driver of his business, huge marketer online. So how does this workshop compare to your course, Email Marketing Secrets? So Email Marketing Secrets is another course that I did, but it's really, there's one training in there giving you some tips. But the main thing with my Email Marketing Secrets is I have a bunch of templates in there, just email templates that you can use in autoresponders and things like that. That was really the core of that product. I'm not going to be giving you templates in this. I'm going to be teaching you, like, teaching you 6 and 7 figure secrets, things that people don't teach. How many of you actually knew what an SPF record was tonight? I mean, honestly, but nowadays it's one of those things that's literally vital. Like, you need to set these things up. Email service providers are getting extremely finicky. Like, they want to know they're getting legitimate emails. So these are the things you didn't have to do this 2-3 years ago, but now it's getting more crucial, more important. They need to know that they're getting legitimate, emails and things like that. So I'm going to be going deep into that stuff, and we're definitely going to go into, email writing techniques, things like that. A lot of cool things that I'll show you that have worked for me for years. Does this help with creating content? I'm not going to go at all into creating content. I do have other courses on that if you want to learn how to create content, come up with ideas, but I will be talking about ideas on how to come up with good email ideas. It's really similar to content creation, because writing an email is like essentially creating content, but it's not going to go into like creating videos or anything like that. So we're not going to talk anything about that, but what I talk about definitely will help you. No question. Craig says, funny side note, I've been listening to you talk about Ray for a few years. Since I got your automation course, I've been getting his stuff all over my social media. Yeah. Ray's pretty much everywhere. He's kind of a freak of nature. I don't know how else to put it. Ray is just not normal. Okay. Ray is kind of one of those people, like, there's really nobody like him. Okay. I mean, he's just everywhere. He's a beast. So even though he is on social media a lot, he's in my inbox a lot. Like, I get emails from Ray all the time, and, but that's one of the big things, so, okay. So just to reiterate, guys, the special offer is going to end a week from tonight. Okay. A week from tonight. If you want to take advantage of the mastermind bonus for the fast action bonus, you want to hop on this and become one of the 20. Because what we're going to do is we're going to set up a 3-session mastermind, and you'll be if you're one of the 20, you'll get to be a part of it. Okay. So if you pay the full $297, you'll get to be a part of it. We'll let you know when we're going to do it, and we'll give you a heads up ahead of time for sure. It'll be all on Zoom. It'll be video based. You can come in. We're going to talk. I'll answer all your questions. I'll help you write emails. I'll help you if you have questions on some of the technical side of things. I'll do my best to answer every question you have. And if I can't answer it, I'll work on getting the answer for you. So this is going to be a really, really cool thing. So I'm excited about that. Okay. But let's see here. Any more questions? So head on over emailtrafficplaybook.com. You can get registered. You can check out what we're going to do. It's more or less, kind of a summary page trying to give you the basics of what we're going to do. But again, this course is going to, it's definitely going to expand. We're going to take it, and really expand it out. This is the beginnings and genesis of this. But I am pumped about it because this is one of those things that you gotta know. And this is really, if you really want to go big in this thing, you really need to know how to use your email list. It is by far the biggest and best way to make sales. Okay. By far. And so you want to take advantage of it. And I want to pour into you. I mean, guys, I've been doing this since 2008. It's not like I'm a spring chicken here. I've been doing this a long time. I know what works. I've done this over and over and over again. I get invited out to speak at a lot of events, and, I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm not trying to act like I'm something big, but I'm just telling you that, look, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these things. I spend a ton of time understanding things, applying things, putting them into action. So, my goal is to take the knowledge I have, and for really a pretty nominal fee, give that to you, because I want you to have success at this thing too. So for me, that's a big deal. I literally spend thousands in time and money, tons of hours and thousands of dollars in my own education so that I can learn these things and take it and then communicate it to you in the best way possible, the easiest way possible, so that you can, implement this into your business. And that's my goal. I am committed to helping you build an online business. And that's my whole, I love this marketing stuff. Like, I could teach marketing, nonstop for years and years to come. For me, that's what it's about. I love it. I love what I do. And that's why I'm such a marketing geek. That's why I hop on the phone and I talk with, other influencers, and we'll talk marketing for an hour on the phone, talking about, little marketing strategies and techniques. One of my good buddies, Tanya Eliza, I talk with her all the time. We get on the phone and we'll just sit there and talk for an hour about cool little marketing things we're doing, and it's like, oh yeah, you should try this. It's really cool. It's like, no way, that's awesome. But these little things, like, getting that type of stuff from other marketers is really, it's golden. And that's why I do it. But I want to share that stuff. Like, I can't keep this stuff in. Like, I got to share it with you guys, and I got to get it out there. Some of you guys might remember a couple of years ago, I was in 2019. I went to an event, and, I really have served the network marketing niche quite a bit, and the affiliate marketing niche as well. But, I used to kind of hold back on stuff, teaching things, because I really thought, like, hey, this is probably too much for people. Some people aren't going to get it. I might discourage people if I try to get too technical about things. But then I was like, I went to this event, and I go to this event and I see all these network marketers at this funnel event. They're teaching funnels and marketing and automation. And like, I was like, hang on a second, all these people that don't want to teach all this stuff, like, they're at this event and they're getting all the goodies, like how to build funnels, how to email, there's emailing experts in there, and they're teaching them how to send emails and build their list. And I'm like, this is crap, man. I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not holding back anymore. And I remember I made this video. I went live in one of my groups, and I said, I commit to you guys, I'm going to share with you every single thing I know. Like, I'm tired of holding back. I'm going to teach you exactly how I build my business. I don't spend hours a day on Facebook, like, prospecting people. I do it through automation, through email. I do it in these ways that give me the best leverage for my time. I'm going to share it with you guys. And I've been true to that for the last 2 years. And that's what I've been teaching. That's what I want to take you on. This is going to be a deep dive into the topic of email, because I think it's the most crucial when it comes to, setting up any type of automation. Building funnels is, like, very important. Like, I have funnels. Some of you guys might, but when you really understand how important email is in the funnel process, and I'm going to go into things like I've never taught in any of my other courses in this. So take advantage of it, guys, really. All right. So any other questions? We've been here about an hour and a half, so I don't want to keep you guys, but if you guys have questions, I'll stay as long as you want. Okay. Any other questions? No, it looks like you guys are good to go. All right. Well, you guys, again, did you get value tonight? You guys get some good stuff. You get some actionable stuff, things that you think you can take away. Awesome. Yeah, the mastermind sessions are going to be Q&A and hot seat. So any help that you need, we'll be doing screen sharing, things like that. But it's going to be mastermind style. It's really going to be, sitting around a table, like really, those are some of the best ways to get the stuff that you need. So yep, take advantage of that. That's for sure. Awesome, David. Appreciate it. Awesome. Janet, Kim. Great to have you guys. Awesome, Ray. Appreciate it. Well, guys, I'm excited to have you on. And that's the payment we have. You can do the $297 or 3 payments of $117. Yep, that's the deal. So, all right, guys, love you, appreciate you. Remember, we're doing 6 weeks. We start next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Go to emailtrafficplaybook.com. You can get registered there. And just a reminder, I was just looking, as of right now, we still have a few spots left. We still have a few spots for the mastermind. A lot of you guys have come on board. That's awesome. So take advantage of it, get it, and love to have you guys in there. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you. Enjoy it. And thanks so much for coming out. I appreciate your time. I don't take it lightly. Whether you decide to get started with this or not, I'm just happy you came here and I appreciate you. Hopefully you're leaving with a few tips that can help you in your business. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And we'll see you starting next Tuesday. Bye-bye, guys.